can't tell you what I was like. I can tell you what my behaviour was like. I shuffled around the streets. If a door was open, I went in so if I could steal anything. I went into skips looking for food or anything to sell. I was with my dog 24 hours a day. I manipulated the off-licence in Hackney, where I lived in a squat, and I borrowed drugs in order, with a promise of paying later. And I picked up my daily prescription from the chemist. And I considered myself to be a wreck, and I hadn't lived my dream. No one believed I could recover, even in the fellowship. When I was 8 months clean, I got a standing ovation because no one really believed that it was possible. I was really, I was a wreck. It is a miracle, without a doubt. It was as though there was a part of me watching everything. It's quite frightening, my ability to recall things. I had a dream. I really did have a dream. And perhaps it was arrogant to think, shuffling around Piccadilly with syringes in my pocket and drugs in my veins, that one day I would be a writer and I would become a scholar. But today I'm beginning to do that. So it was there. Down there. Well, I know now that I suffer from what is called the disease of addiction. What began in my childhood was the fact there wasn't a loving family. Everything about me was wrong. I didn't fit into all these preconceived notions and roles of what a little girl should be. And I didn't want to either. I wanted to be who I was and who I wanted to be. And I was illegitimate. And in the 40s, to be a bastard was a very bad place to be. The child got blamed for being a bastard. A series of things. I was raped, I was beaten up, I was threatened by a group of men in Hackney who were going to kick my dog to death. Children told me I smelled. I stank. No, they came up to me because they said, "Do you know you stink?" I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear it. It was just the knife, possibly that I needed. And then I was threatened by some people in Hackney about drug debts. And I thought, I'm going to die. And I was shuffling around. I was frightened of everyone. I was becoming more and more devious. It was terrifying. I was just so devious. And I couldn't look anybody in the eye. And I thought I was very clever. It was all very crazy stuff. And for a moment, I could see how crazy that was. And I thought, what have I done to myself, Then I was rejected by my dog. The people I knew didn't expect anything from, but the dog, that was the finishing touches. I had to look at myself then. I wrote poetry. I cited it to people from red phone boxes. A bit of drama added in here to make it more interesting. That's what I used to do. There was a spark, but the spark was fueled by my anger, I think, that I hadn't honoured my dream, I hadn't been to college, and I hadn't been a writer, and I was dying. No, there was no doubt in my mind. I knew I was dying. I shuffled along. Well, I reawakened the dream, and I prayed for guidance. I thought, I'm going to be a writer and a scholar. And this is a real end-of-the-road person, trudging along, filthy, dirty, smelly, telling everyone, I'm going to get off the drink and the drugs, I'm going to become a writer and a scholar. Oh, yeah, Chris, all right, And I have. I'm on the way to doing it anyway. Wonderful. And just walking across the red carpet. Red carpet. It just meant so much to me. Yes, it was the moment, I think, yeah. The example of the way I'm living my life today is a way of giving back. But I have to live for me first, and then I can have something to give. And I think the power of example is one of the greatest powers.